Welcome CFDA fashion designers around the world to the Global E-commerce and Logistics Series in partnership with Getting to Global and CFDA. I'm Josh Halpern, aka the Vanbassador. Today we catch up with Kenneth Cole himself to catch a little nugget about how he maintains his global brand and his ethos while also expanding internationally into local markets. Let's check it out now with Kenneth Cole. Kenneth Cole, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, happy to be here.
How do you balance going global and maintaining a global brand and uniformity while also allowing things to build up and come out from local companies and local countries, rather?
It's, the media in many ways has defined that path for you because, through social platforms, what you say to anyone, you're saying to everyone, and there are no boundaries. And they say, certainly in the fashion world, it's a borderless industry today, and everybody has access to what is happening everywhere simultaneously, and it is invariably interpreted for everybody everywhere based upon their local circumstances. So you need to contextualize it to the degree you can with the resources you have, with the media and or marketing, merchandising resources available to one, and then you you do the best you can.
When you travel overseas, are there certain things that you've seen some of your local kind of team do that you said that doesn't really resonate, or that does really resonate, we should use that elsewhere?
There's always lessons learned. So you always look back and say, well, maybe we could have done that a little better. But the one thing at the end of the day we've come away with is that the brand is the brand, and we stand for what we've stood for to a large degree, and we'll interpret it, and in the spirit, in an effort to stay relevant consistently. And, we've been talking about HIV since 1985. I did my first AIDS campaign in the United States, and nobody wanted to talk about HIV in those days because of the stigma attached to those who did. So, we entered some of the European markets 10 years later, 15 years later. They said, well, there's other people that kind of own that message. So maybe we should talk about something else. I said, I know, but this is not what the brand is, though. So we have to stay true to what the brand is. And when we've ever tried that in the past, it hasn't worked. And we tried that also in Central and South America. So, and invariably we end up going back to what the brand's core message and what it has always stood for. And we try to stay to that, stay true to that. We stay to it with conviction and with substance. And there's a history, there's a legacy that supports it. And we try not to be swayed based upon current events.
What do you have advice for new brands starting out? And you're famous for a couple of activities. When you first started out, there's a trailer story in 1982, people can look it up, around how you did whatever needed to really start and launch your brand. What's the message for smaller, medium-sized brands looking to go global? What are the things they should be thinking about?
The world has changed with social media now because everything is available to everyone everywhere, and in real time. So, you may look at that and say, well, it's the competitive universe is so difficult and so overwhelming. But I then would argue, but so is the audience. Is also just everybody everywhere is competing with you, but everybody everywhere is the audience as a consumer. So, I would just simply suggest people put yourself in the shoes of customer to whom you want to appeal, in their proverbial shoes, and hopefully then they'll want to put themselves in yours. Or sometimes I'll look in my closet in the morning and I say to myself, what do I wish was here? And then I go to work and make it.
Mm-hmm. What did you miss in your closet? Is there anything that you really wanted that you didn't have? What does Kenneth Cole not have in his closet?
Well, I think it's not always a literal interpretation, but it's a process that teaches you just to kind of see if you can see what's not there.
Yeah.
And the goal is to kind of be always out there and kind of have a sense of what's happening in the competitive universe, and not so that you know what to make, but so what you know not to, because nobody needs more of what is there. So, and what is easy, what is practicable, what is sensible. And today, the customer, the audience is uncompromising because they can be. And they want everything in every purchase, and they want it on their terms, ubiquitously.
If you could hire a superhero for your company, what superpower would they have?
Oh, that's a hard question. I think that somebody who is true to who they are and somebody has we have a campaign we refer to as the courageous class, and we celebrate individuals who have overcome life circumstances, and we celebrate the strength, their conviction, their endurance to withstand any obstacles. And at the end of the day, we say that the real models are the role models.
Kenneth Cole in the house, helping you fill your proverbial closet. What did we learn? 1, stay true to your core even if others try to dissuade you. 2, everything you do is everywhere on social media. You're global on day 1. 3, is content localization still a thing? Kenneth Cole's experience is that you can't isolate your message for a given market, even if you try. But it also means you can and should leverage marketing, content, and PR in one market to feed the other. 4, and for all those courageous brands starting on global journeys, fill your closet with strength, endurance, and conviction. Thank you to Kenneth Cole and his team for making this possible. Watch more videos for the CFDA and Getting to Global e-commerce expansion and logistics series. I'm your host, Josh Halpern, aka the VanBassador. We'll see you on the next one.